And God cares about this building, and He cares about the churches that sprinkle the landscape of this nation. And if you go to Europe today, you'll see cathedral after cathedral that were beautiful, and they're empty. And if we don't get right in this nation, that's going to happen. Look around you at the sloth. Look at the empty pews. Look at the big gaps. They didn't want to hear the truth. Believe in something today.
Welcome to Beyond the Walls with Pastor Cary Gordon of Cornerstone World Outreach in Sioux City, Iowa. Check out our website at beyondthewallsradio.com. Thank you for tuning in. Enjoy the sermon.
Jesus said when you're acting in an act of generosity, don't let the left hand know what the right hand is doing. So generosity is something that is personal and private, but I want you to understand the difference between taking dominion together in harmony with God and being generous with one another. But let's not get confused about what happens in the church, because the same Jesus that told us be quiet about your generosity sideways with one another believed, and I happen to agree with him, that what you do with your finances in the local church concerning the tithe is not just your business. It is the business of everyone here, because you have an obligation before the congregation of God to pull your weight. You have an obligation before everyone else in here to pull your weight. If you're not pulling your weight and you're not bringing down the tithe and the line publicly with Jesus staring at what you're putting in that bucket, see, because that's not private now. This is public. Then you're confusing the difference between generosity and taking dominion. When we give the tithe, we're not being generous with God. There's no way to be generous to God because God gave us everything we have. It's as silly as me loaning my cordless drill to Tom Nettleton, and 2 weeks later, Tom wraps up my cordless drill, puts a bow on it, and then says, "I've got something for you. Here you go. Tell me if you like it." And I open it up, and it's my own cordless drill. That's weird. And thankfully, Tom would never do something that weird. I'm really happy about that. But this is what we're doing when we come to church and we think, number one, whether or not I tithe is my business and it's no one else's business. No, you're wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong about that. And then secondly, when you come in and you're copying an attitude because you put something in the offering, "Oh, I tell you what, I was generous with God today. Yeah, me. That's what I'm saying, you know." You're not generous with God. What are you talking about? The only reason you have any cash to give is because God blessed you with enough of a mind to sell your widget. So we're talking about taking dominion. You gotta shake off this Western attitude about tithes and offerings and confusing that with generosity.
This has been Beyond the Walls with Pastor Cary Gordon of Cornerstone World Outreach in Sioux City, Iowa.
God Himself blew on history so that there would be a light.
Check out our website at beyondthewallsradio.com.
Extra ecclesiam nulla salus. There is no salvation outside of the church.
Thank you for tuning in.